Hello everyone, this is Zooc and today I'm bringing you a new drawing video. This one is going to be a derpy fat dragon. Why did I do that? No fucking idea, but as far as I know, most people like to draw very scary looking, majestic, fierce dragons. And I like to do things a little bit differently and go for the not so serious side of things because I don't really take myself very seriously either, so why not? So this is basically just meant as painting practice. I swore to myself that I would try and get a little bit done every day. Some days more than others to get to a point where I can be comfortable with painting and form the muscle memory necessary to do that whole shebang on the tablet. Because as opposed to drawing on a pencil, whenever I take a break from drawing on a tablet, it seems to have a much greater impact than traditional pencil stuff. I can leave drawing with a pencil for a month, and when I come back it feels exactly the same. But if I do the same with the tablet, then it's I pick it up and I feel like an idiot with it. So not that the practice so far has done much good, but it's getting there eventually. Obviously the inability to properly see colors is kind of a pain in the ass, but I'm trying to work around that and kind of remembering on the color wheel what our stuff is supposed to be, rather than go by visuals. And I realize that's like much more difficult to do than the other way around if I was fully functioning. But I do want to paint. I do really want it to get to a point where I'm good, and as good as a lot of the people that or even half as good as a lot of people that I watch. So it's a long journey. That's all I can say about that. Anyway, this is going to be basically the last video before I go to Prague for a little bit less than 2 weeks. I'll be there for 12 days, and I won't really have the ability to make any video there. So unfortunately for 12 days, there's not going to be anything on the channel. But I do have enough footage from something that I painted again after the derpy fat dragon that I'm going to put out when I get back. It's kind of cool, actually. It's an image that John asked me to make for him for some reason, but I had fun with it, and it was kind of in my style that I like. So that's going to be that. So let's talk a bit about the painting itself. What are the problems that I see now after looking at it? Basically, the main problem that I have is getting the right amount of contrast. Either it's too non-contrasty, or there's too much difference between the light and the dark areas. Obviously the colors are a problem as well, with red, which is not the best color to film stuff in, but I sort of went with it because dragons are most of the time red. Whenever there's, as far as I know, I need to read up on color theory, but obviously when there's a source of light pointing at a red object, the area under the highlight, basically the second layer, is saturated, and also the midtones are saturated, and then the shadows are more desaturated, so more gray in that. That's basically the main problem I have, like getting the right amount of saturation on certain areas, and the gray percentage properly on other ones. And I really don't know how to get to it other than just doing it over and over until something looks properly. So as you'll see towards the end, this thing took about 7 hours anyway, so it was quite a long process. But towards the end I decided to get lazy, and I just put a bunch of clouds and steam there to sort of hide the area that I didn't want to work on anymore, because I was getting like a really bad headache. But that works fine. Cheating sometimes is not that big of a deal. Not everything has to be well defined. But what I cared most obviously was about the face, and like its tiny arms and legs and its midsection of the body, to show that it was fat and big and round. But yeah, obviously it's, for someone that doesn't do this, it might look okay. But for me, I have very high standards for myself, and nothing that I do is ever good enough. And I realize that's kind of an annoying way to look at it. Some people settle for less than I settle for, and that's fine with them. We each have our own individual standards. But for me, I need to get to a point where I can say like, oh yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And nothing that I've done on the tablet so far has met those criteria. But eventually I'm sure it'll come to that point. I can't be that clueless. But it just takes, a lot of the people that I watch obviously have like 5, 10 some even 20 years of painting behind them, and I have a couple of months. So obviously there's no comparison there, but I never believed in that concept of practice all the time, because with the pencil drawings, I didn't get that much practice in, and I got better as time went by. Like, the only practice I got was actually making videos out of them, and that doesn't qualify as much, considering I put out a video once every 3 or 4 days. So it's not really conducive to the whole idea that practice is necessary and it has to be a daily occurrence. Well, with the tablet, it seems that it does have to happen that way, and that's the reality of it. So there's not really much else to talk about. Like, I've had a pretty slow week and every day has been a lazy day. But I will go pack my bags now, and tomorrow morning I'm heading off to the airport to spend a bit of time away from home. But yeah, it's nice that Vodafone has changed its roaming policy. Now you basically pay €4 a day and you use your phone in foreign countries as you would at home. So you can use the internet and you can call people just fine without paying extra. It's just that flat €4 rate a day, so I can take a bunch of pictures of stupid shit and post them on Twitter, because why the hell not? So anyway, please rate that shit if you enjoyed it. A little bit of painting practice with my Derpy Fat Dragon, and I will see you guys when I get back. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.